So good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Erich Gail. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of the Cardinelli Group of Companies, which is really a corporate responsibility. My day-to-day job is that I'm the CEO of our automotive group, our ZMOD automotive velocity firm, and a vehicle supply firm to the OEMs throughout the US and Canada. We're all here at Digital Dealer to try to move 1 mile an hour faster, okay? There is a myriad of technology and agency partners and really, really brilliant minds here, all that are to help shape us make decisions that we're responsible for every single day to just try to find one way that I can move just a little bit faster, a little more efficiently, okay? And all of us in this room and throughout this conference, we're all in different levels, different roads of our development in embracing what is digital retailing, okay? So today, I'm going to share with you folks the science that we have found as a retailer of the zero moment. What exactly is that? People throw the term around all the time, and I'll break it down for you, okay? So, I believe that Digital Dealer is a plug for them. I know this is the no pitch zone, okay? But I'll pitch them. I believe they're giving away an iPad for anything that you guys tweet, comments, whether it's related to me or not. I hope that I've inspired you in some way. But I think whatever you guys do over the next couple of days, they've got some really cool things for people that tweet and shout out them. So it's all good. Cardinelli Group of Companies, I kind of introduced that. Let me just quickly run it through. This will work. Of course. I'm like a tech magnet. If it'll break, I'll find a way to break it. Right, Bobby? All right. Okay, so the three companies that comprise the Cardinelli Group of Companies are all very distinct, yet we are aligned. Okay? And I'm not going to go into the weeds here because I will start tripping down the road of where I would be a pitch master, because yes, we have one firm right in the middle that does support dealers. That is not a pitch. It's just a reality. But I'm going to kind of share with you why that was created. Okay? I don't know where I'm supposed to aim this thing. All right, we good? All right. Our automotive group is, as of this moment, 17. Come March 10, we'll be 19. Stores throughout the United States, throughout California, Arizona, and now in Metro Las Vegas. We were blessed throughout our road, which FYI, I will be a keynote speaker on Thursday on a completely different topic. But one of the things that I will share with you is that we started in this room. We started at Digital Dealer 10 as a brick and mortar group that fell victim to the recession, and we hemorrhaged our way into almost being out of business. So we came to Digital Dealer 10 with a bunch of notepads and the courage to say, I have no idea what digital retailing is. And here we are a number of years later, and we were blessed along our progression to move from absolutely in the weeds, off the grid, to the number 7, now number 5, now this past year number 4, highest sales volume e-retailer in North America in a couple of years. And I'll give you some of the gold behind that. That's why I'm very passionate to speak in this conference, because in my truth, it's about giving back. We did not wake up one day brilliant. We were scared shitless when we started this road because we didn't know anything, okay? So we drank out of a fire hose for many conferences where I left completely and totally overwhelmed with 4 feet of notes, had no idea where to start, and some really smart, very caring dealers, a number of you are in the room, took us under your wing and encouraged us to just stay in it, that we would not be beaten, we would not be ground down by the subculture in our stores that say the internet is not where we're selling cars. Obviously, that ship is long sailed, yeah? Okay. Quick pass, I don't want to pitch. Really kind of a cool company I love to talk about. This is an open pitch because guess what? This company spends money with dealers. Raise your hand if you've ever been to a sales training ride and drive event. Yeah? Come on, guys. We go, we beat the shit out of those cars, right? That's what we're supposed to do. Well, thanks. Those are ours. We're the competitive vehicle provider for the OEM. So when you go to those kinds of events, it's a business that we developed a number of years ago. What makes it exciting is that we buy thousands of cars a year because there's no reason to come trucking them out of our store. If I need cars in Kentucky, I just call a local Kentucky dealer and buy your cars. Dealer to dealer, right? It's good business. So just throwing that out there, one day we may call you. Our companies are all centered around one interlocking CW, and that is our brand promise. It's why I'm here today. It's something that guides every single decision that I make, and it's right here on your screen. It's our founding commitment, our mantra, our mission statement. It's all in one, and every single company carries the same one. There is absolute piercing clarity in this. We develop, hence we go to work to develop an outstanding relationship where everybody wins. It's not good enough if I just win. It's not good enough if we lose. And we use this as the guide for every associate, every relationship with an OEM, with our lending partners, with our vendors, and all points in between. If it is not outstanding, it will not carry our name. Okay? All right. An upfront contract. This is going to be a little long, and I would ask that you guys write some of this stuff down. I use upfront contracts throughout our entire operation to kind of frame in every meeting. Okay? In this room, have no ego here. Okay? If you find a question, I'll answer it. If you're worried that, man, I won't seem very smart, let that kind of fear leave at the door. Because if you have the courage to embrace, I don't know what I don't know, then you are on your way to greatness. Okay? So my upfront contract is this. If I can find where to point this thing. Come on. Where are we at? What? Firstly, we're dealers in this room. Okay? Unless you're sitting across from the guy that you compete with every day across the street, I'd say it's all fine that we have a collegiate relationship with each other and that we can share best practices. Number two, we are, regardless of whether your name's on the building or not, whatever your position is, whatever it says on your business card, I don't care if it says associate, all the way up to president, we're 100% responsible. There are no empty chairs in our world at this speed, at this level of complexity that we operate at. It's not ever good enough to say, well, I did my job. But Richie, he fell down. Well, guess what? The combination of our two scores, we didn't move it across the line. The whole team missed. Okay? Learning without doing. I'd write this one down. Learning without doing is what? Whoever's heard it before. Is not learning at all. Knowledge retention. This is an interesting factoid that I was able to secure. We're blessed being headquartered in the shadow of the Silicon Valley on the Monterey Peninsula. Stanford is just up the road. Wonderful cerebral studies program. We were able to sit in on a couple of things. This is how our minds work. If you hear it, any idea what your retention is of what you hear? Anybody? Have the courage. Throw a number. How much? 15? Okay. 10. 7 to 8. Okay? Shockingly low, right? I would have missed that one by a mile. In fact, I did when they first asked the question. Okay? That's just hear it. If you write it down, what do you think that increases your chances to? I'm sorry? Doubles? Okay. Anybody? We all agree? Doubles? A little bit better. About 20, 25%. Still within the same framework, yeah? Okay. If you hear it, write it down, then share it, teach it, mentor it, some combination therein. Any idea what that does to the retention of what you've just been taught or learned or a new process? 50%. Anybody? 70? 75%. Which means we're never going to retain everything. Okay? And so I love sharing that. That may not be necessarily relevant to Zero Moment Retail, but it's certainly relevant to leadership. And in a conference like this, where you're going to be absolutely dizzy at the end of, I don't know if I can breathe, there's so much stuff crammed into my head in 2.5 days, got to remember to extract the gold from these opportunities of these brilliant men and women and walk away with something that I've written down, that I've got a pretty good understanding of, and now I'm just going to go start teaching it and sharing it, and the more I do that, the better it seats. Okay? All right, communication value. I think this is important to share. I share this often with dealers, and they all text me later and go, man, I used that in my sales meetings. It was outstanding. Okay, you ready? This is called the communication pie, like a pie chart. Verbal communication in our world, the actual spoken word, matters very little. What you say means very little. The tonality matters quite a bit more. Okay? How many people in the room are married? Long-term relationships. Good morning, sweetheart. Yeah, good morning. Really? Is that a good morning? It's a total backhanded slap, right? So it's what I said was good morning. How I said it spoke volumes. Yes? Okay? All right. The kinetics is everything. Now this is a 100-point scale, so if you can do the math real quick, you all know what's coming next. 55% of our communication is kinetic. Okay? What I said, but I never did anything with, has zero value. Absolutely zero value. I can tell you all day long that I'm committed, like Anthony Bartoli, the guy's an absolute just, just crazy fit, right? Beautiful man. If I wanted to say that I'm going to be Anthony Bartoli, but I never go to the gym and I never pick up a weight, then I'm full of shit, right? I'm just blowing air, okay? So, all right, guys. When I get on a roll, man, this thing starts stopping. All right, maybe I should stay on this side. Okay, zero moment retail. What exactly is it? Okay, this is provided by Google, so this is not me making this stuff up, about all the numbered data things people throw around. This is right out of their released in 2011 automotive study that talks about the road of a consumer pathway and the dollars that we invest at the peak points throughout the purchase process. Okay? So for easy math, as an industry in the US, we spend $55 billion in every form of marketing and advertising. $55 billion. Okay? Now, look at the spend levels where they're not even close to the store. Okay? So let's do a fair slice. Do the old Joe Verdi, right? If you don't like it, cut it in half. Okay? So $55 billion, let's give the OEMs 50% of that spend. Okay? In their world, is it fair to say that the area that they're focused on is the stimulus phase? That makes sense for me if I'm an OEM. Correct? Everybody agree? Okay. 96% of the dealer dollars are spent here. And the problem is that we don't control our spend. But I'm going to give you insights today to take that back, to take 100% responsibility of your investments back and say, it's my money, it's my store, it's my team, it's my net. If I ill-perform and I have to let people go, whose responsibility is that? It's nobody else's but mine. So guess what? I'm in the ROI business. Every single dollar that I invest better give me a return. And if it doesn't, I'm going to shoot it. Okay? The next phase, which starts to get a little interesting, is called the consideration phase. Not a bad place to be when you're a lethal digital retailer. We have another deck completely about the world of conquesting. It's a great place to be. But here, folks, this is the goal. This is what we all search for. Here is the zero moment. Okay? Any struggles with that? So the whole cascade, right? Look how much little money is spent there. It might very well be us and some of our dealer partners around the US and Canada. It is a fraction of the dollars that are spent here because we're in the fear business. Oh my God, if I'm not on the billboard, front page of the newspaper, or splattering all over the web with some ridiculous shit that's got somebody else's brand name on it, you'll never even know I'm here. Not true. In an ADD single device world, would we all agree that's where we're going? Okay? Who's got, seriously, a PC, a laptop, an iPad, and a phone anymore? Okay? Yeah, I get it. I mean, I do too, but ready? How much, what percentage of them have dust on them, right? When was the last time you kicked in a PC? The dust blows out the front, right? The point is, very quickly with Apple Air and Google Air and all this kind of stuff, we're going to go to devices that are going to just throw stuff up on the wall. You can do it from your phone. Okay? So it's fair to say that we live in a single device world, for the most part. Okay? So, in that ADD, give it to me right now environment, it's safe to say that with or without us, and I will take a challenge here, as a dealer, with or without me, think about, remove yourself from being a dealer. Think about how you buy. With or without me, am I going to be able to find out all the information that I need to know about the 2016 Silverado that I saw on the road and learn about the specs and the safety ratings and all the other kind of stuff? Do I need a dealer to tell me that? Okay? Do I have friend base, social base, all this other kind of stuff where I can flip those opinions out to, right? And kind of gauge it, talk to my neighbor and everything else. So is it fair to say that as a buyer right now, I know what I want and pretty much why I want it? Is that fair? I'll put you on the spot. If you guys don't agree, we'll take a challenge. Okay? Let's assume that you all agree. What's the only question then? Where am I going to get it? There's a gigantic shift, not a change, because everybody fears change. Change is bad. Don't use the word change inside your stores. Use the word shift. Small degrees of shift pushed out over time will be a gigantic difference in the way your operation is run. Okay? Little shift. It's where they're going to buy. Question is, what's the stat? 1.3 dealers visited? Yes? Everybody agree? Who's the 0.3 in that equation? The loser. The place they went to first, right? Hey, I'm Erich. Are you here for the big sale? Okay, hate that. You just barfed gross all over the lot, and they didn't even say a word yet. No big sale. Good afternoon. I understand that you're interested in how may I help, right? Just go right to it. I mean, we need to go to it and kind of get out of the way all at the same time, right? Because I showed up exactly knowing what I want. Just don't give me all your sales fluffery. Just get me the keys and let's go. Okay? All right. Nomophobia. I'm going to give you guys all a cool new word. I just learned this a couple weeks ago. I wanted to share it with you. You realize this actually exists. Swear to God. Anybody know what it is? Seriously, I would be thrilled if somebody knew what this was. You're going to laugh as soon as I tell you what it is. Fear of what? Fear of missing out? You're right on the cusp. Well, yeah, right. Oh, yeah, right, exactly. No, it's us. It's the fear of being without my mobile phone. Kid you not, it's like a legit phobia, right? There's a study that Manhattan, on the streets of Manhattan, just random questionnaire. A guy comes at you with a baseball bat. You've got $1,000 in your pocket. Which one do you give, the money or the phone? Every single person's like, you take everything I have. Do not take my phone. I don't have it backed up. I don't even know my mother's phone number, right? How am I going to get through that? So nomophobia, and guys, I believe this deck's available for everyone that participated, right? But, I mean, it's like, what do we got here? 66% of people sleep with it, right? People are freaking out if their phone's more than 5 feet away, okay? And we're worried about what's on television. I got to hurry up and get my new ad spot in for TV. Really? Okay. Another reason why the give it to me now connected device world is that this is a screenshot that I yanked off of Google a couple days ago about the IoT. You guys know what the IoT is? It's okay if you don't. This is not about me being smart. I learned this stuff just like you guys do because somebody told me and I went and read it. The IoT is called the Internet of Things. Smartphones, smart cars, smart houses, smart office, smart power grids, you name it. Everything is communicating together through the cloud in real time. It is going to be freakishly efficient, more so than it already is. If you guys don't think that our cars are going to become rolling infotainment systems that will tell us exactly what to do, when to do it, that is already here. Okay? So, think about the opportunities that we have as retailers to just take a step and insert ourselves into that just a little bit. Okay? And I will warn you, we took said step. Okay? And it's like getting hooked on a drug. Only this one's legal, right? Once you get into that and you're like, oh my God. Like for $14, I just sold 7 cars. Because I figured out how to go to a place that nobody else goes. And I just freed up $5,000 that I used to blow on something else. Once you start down that road, you're on the constant search. Okay? The rules of engagement of zero-moment retail is that it must be, and I would write this down, this is for you as a dealer, as a retailer. If you hold my brand hostage and give me an invoice in return, you are fired. Okay? If it takes me more than one click anywhere in the world to move from something that has anyone's name on it direct to my digital landscape, I'm out. And let me share with you as a dealer, we do not allow that. Okay? We do not have relationships with any, and I will not name names, but I'm sure you can figure out who they are. We do not third-party market with anyone of any kind because they are not in the business to release my client. Go shop a website, and if you have to search, scroll, lift up rocks to try to find where is it, connect to dealer website, I'm out. If it's not one click on a photo right into my VDP, I'm out. Okay? Because we decided to take our brand back. It's our money. Okay? And FYI, for anybody who's struggling with the courage of that decision, it was a handshaking tremble. Okay? But when we freed up $300,000 a month and sold more cars at wicked more net, obviously, because we didn't spend the money, okay, it was a game changer. And then, as a dealer, now I'm in control of my investment. I can park a lot in reserve, push it to the bottom line, but I can also be a little more cavalier with my brand, because guess who's driving the bus? I am. And I'm responsible, correct? Okay. Integration and weaponization of active, in-market, digital retail strategy. How's that for a sentence? Okay? You guys can take a photo of that one. It's a lot. I don't want anybody's hand to hurt writing it down. In-market what? I mean, I get it, right? It's a lot of big blah, blah on the screen, okay? In-market digital retail strategy. Target and secure in-market buyers. The zero-moment retail says, I am not interested, and I'll say it again, I am not interested in someone who's 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 4 months out. Anybody have an idea why I'm really, truly not interested in that? Okay. Losing money. Burning precious daylight. Okay? How many people, I've been in this business 26 years, how many of us, times are tough, factory raises the incentives, net didn't come in where I want, I grab everybody in, throw a chair, scream some obscenities, yell at the marketing guy, I need more leads. Now, has anybody ever said that? I need more leads. These guys are pissed. They don't even know how to make a phone call. My guys are on the up bus that died in the 80s. They still think that it's my responsibility to bring you business, right? So go spend a shit ton of money and bring me a bunch of leads that don't convert. I'm out of the lead business. I'm in the in-market buyer business. So if you want to write something down, write that down. Get out of the lead business. If you want to really know what's going on, trust your marketing people or your sales managers, your GMs enough to dig into your CRM and say, show me how many cars did I sell for $10,000? Yeah, no, wait a minute. They walk in. Really? Seriously. In 2016, we're going to buy the walk-in bus? No. Okay? Oh, no, they map printed. On what? I map printed threw it from my mobile phone into a mobile printer. I didn't just push directions, which is targetable and trackable and behaviorally fed that I can actually know who you are, right? I mean, just try to think about some of that stuff, okay? And I'm sharing this with you as a dealer. Like, these were all the battles that we went through, and they were knockdown, drag-out fights with great car men that I've known for many, many years, some of whom quit, saying that we were completely off our rocker, that we weren't going to do fill in the blank, right? Oh, how quickly that changed, okay? As dealers, this is the most optimum thing. I don't want you guys to get freaked out that I'm going to take you down a road where you're like, wait, whoa. I'm here at Digital Dealer to learn, and you're telling me I'm supposed to be a master at this stuff? You know, shit, I just got call tracking numbers, right? I mean, you know, it's okay, okay? just remember this. It's your data. No one gets to tell you what to do with your money. If somebody comes to me with a cost, I'm out. You give me an investment strategy that I can look at that has an ROI attached to it, I may take a pilot. I may, fire a bullet, right? It's our data. We have 100% complete control of every single person, profile, metric type, where they were, what they did, that come into our store and buy cars from us. And if you don't, this is not a sales pitch. If you don't, find someone who you trust to help you get it, because it's your data, okay? There are brilliant people next door in the exhibit hall. There's wonderful partners out there, okay? Find someone you trust, just like anything else. I buy from whom I trust. If you don't have that capability internally, start at start. I'd probably write that one down. Don't let your ego get in the way. Start at the starting line, okay? If you're fearful about taking the first step, call me. I'll walk you through it, okay? All right. Okay, there's our in-market data program, right? We have to accept zero-moment retail is a shift in our thinking, okay? We have got to embrace the fact that when we separate ourselves from our careers, we fall victim to this type of marketing every day, okay? I have a daughter who's going off to college. Real quick side story, because I just noticed I'm actually doing pretty okay on time. Who's bought a mattress lately? This is a great story for us in the car business. Is that totally a car deal or what? And it was so much fun. I hired the guy, so I'm going to quickly tell you the story, right? So I'm doing the total dad thing, right? Don't say anything. I got this. I'm going to hit the stern face. We're not buying shit today, right? I had every intention of buying a mattress that day. I'm not going to 3 mattress stores, right? I had a budget, but I'm going to play the whole just looking. And I had so much fun doing it, because how many times do we hear that in our daily lives, right? Okay, walk in, guy rolls up, straight up, hit me with the, "Are you here for the big sale?" I'm like, this guy's finished. "Oh yeah, I'm here. Tell me all about it." He just barfed gross all over the place. So I thought. Slick bastard put me together like there was nothing else, right? He scoots right around me like any pro would. It's not about dad. "Oh, it's for you, sweetheart." I'm like, oh man, I'm done. Walks her all over, gets her on the one I think I'd like, then hits me with a, "Sir, why don't you go ahead and lay down on the old Tempur-Pedic, double pump, whatever, memory for 30 years bed." I'm like, oh, man, that's so good. Okay, long story short, start doing the numbers. I'm a salesman. I love when someone has the courage to sell me. And let's face it, seriously, ego aside, as professionals, we are such a laydown for a great salesman. What do we say every single time that we love them? Write it up, man. Let's go. Great job, baby. Big check coming for you, right? So he puts me together, and I just got to ask, because we always get the, "All right, man, I know it's a $70,000 Denali, but let's throw a couple of hats in there for the kids." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, really? Yeah, I'll go get you a couple of hats." MSRP on a Denali, get you a sweatsuit too, right? So the guy says to me, "Well, what do you think, right?" And I'm like, "I think if you throw pillows, I go throw a couple of those ceilings in, and I would probably." It's like, "Really?" I see the guy standing over in the back. Who's that? "Right, man, he's the closer." I'm like, "Buddy," I look at him, "Not needed. Your boy nailed it. Write it up, let's go." Okay? So legit, he now works for our GMC store. The guy sells 17 units a month, swear not making it up. Okay, I waited, the whole 90-day, like not being a predator, and I walked back in like, "Hey, I got another question." And he's like, "Yeah, what's that?" I'm like, "How fast can I get you out of here?" Right? Okay, so, integration. That's a lot of stuff, guys, okay? This is the meat of the discussion. And this is really where I'm kind of going to come quick to the close, and then I want you guys to just crush me with questions, okay? So, wherever you are in your digital road, and this is a fraction of what it looked like, and I'm fine if you guys want to stop me here, we can talk individually about this stuff. Targeted consumer marketing has about 9 different things to it. Any general idea, right? You've got everything from behavioral to conquest to repeat visitor to geo to all these other, right? But there's a lot into a targeted consumer campaign, and please, folks, I am not talking about PPC. That's an element of it, okay? We're talking about a complete and total buy-in and a targeting of the profile individual who's not a shopper, but a, right? Conquest, behavioral, geo, right? Classified listings, okay? Like, for example, Craigslist. That is a polarizing thing to say to some people. Man, I'm out. I'm not doing Craigslist. All I get are a bunch of roaches that just want to pay the lowest dollar. Well, guess what? Put roach inventory up there for the right price that you got to get off of because you're about to take a big wholesale beating. Probably a good thing, right? So that's a strategy. Just depends on who's driving it, right? If you just pay somebody to like flip a switch and send you a bill every month and spray all your stuff onto Craigslist, that's not a strategy. Okay, that's check the box, I'm on to my next meeting kind of marketing. All right? If you want to drive that kind of stuff, you can do it, but that's a part of an in-market buyer campaign and zero moment, because if I can drop a retargeting pixel into you, yanking you off an 11,999 Accord, and I follow you, and then I show you a video of a $17,000 Accord, and I actually get you to flinch on it, I'm starting to walk you into a road that's far different than where you started. Fair? Okay. Video. Social engagement. Who here struggles with retail and social? Anybody? Social doesn't sell cars? Isn't that the complaint? Okay? Come on, guys. Somebody's got to not, right? You don't believe it, okay? So, we happen to have a really wonderful relationship with Facebook, right? So I was invited to go up to their headquarters, kind of a cool thing, give a little cool badge, and they basically cavity search you to make sure you're not stealing all their stuff. And they walked us through this freakish data. It's like the average adult. And I'm not talking about a 30-year-old adult, right? I'm talking about like us in our 40s and 50s and 60s, checks our feed 11 times a day. Whether you admit it or not, or you think Facebook's just for kids, you give it a quick swipe, a quick stroll, right? There is an absolute active ability to drill down into the specifics where I only want guys on this side of the city that like golf but only wear red sweaters. I mean, I can get that granular, all based on the stuff that we give up for free. Okay? Blog content, chat, text, exchange provisioning. Anybody know what that is? Who sells in the service drive? Okay? It's a whole nother deck. Exchange. Write it down. Remember the word. Okay? The OEMs are rolling out their own versions of this stuff. It's not what I'm talking about. This is dealer to dealer. Okay? It's a loyalty play. Okay? Thank you so much, Ms. Herron, for your continued service with our service department. Frank's going to write you up. I just want you to know how much we appreciate that you continue to come back. Retention, loyalty, right? I don't know whether you have time or not, but our general manager saw that your car was coming in today and is really prepared, because it's on our high demand vehicle list, to pay you at or above market value for your car. Don't know whether the numbers work or not. Would you be interested, never use the word sales, exchanging into maybe a newer one? Okay, and so on. There's a whole track. But that's provisioning, because what I really want her car. Like legit, not just making it up to sell more cars. I really want what she's got. What I don't want is to have to go spend a bunch of money to find another one of her. So I'm not letting you out of the deal, right? Okay? Exchange provisioning. A loyalty app. How many of you guys have loyalty apps? Okay. Connected cars. Connected to the CRM. Connected with behavioral. Communicating with your car. Giving you the ability to one-touch schedule a service appointment. Think about an app as a loyalty anchor. Anybody know what all-in, all-done, new and pre-owned loyalty erosion is in our stores nationally? Anybody? 65? 75% are never coming back. And you may say, no, that's bullshit. My OEM report says, oh, I know, that's new. Throw used in there. If you're a one-to-one store or a one-to-two store, your erosion is gigantic. So what are we going to do to help keep people inside of that sphere? So I would recommend look into loyalty apps. Okay? English, Spanish, all that stuff can be done in service to us as dealers. Does not require that we go out and have to spend a ton of money. There are translator programs that are done with conversational language that will turn our messaging and our data into the appropriate language for the consumer. To bring it to a close, the only time I use the word change is when it's in this context. You change the way you look at things. If you have the courage to change the way you look at things, okay? Mindful that what got us here will keep us here. That's a stark reality conversation I have with myself every single day, okay? I've been blessed to be an executive leader within automotive for most of my career. What got me there would have crippled me 15, 18 years ago if I didn't have the courage to take a step and get out of my own way and admit I don't know what I don't know. But by God, I'll have the courage to go find out. Okay? Change the way you look at things, and the things that you will look at will change. Okay? If you don't like something on your data, if you don't like the way your net's coming out, okay, then be a master plumber. Go rip through your statement, get down into the granular, and start throwing out every single thing that doesn't have an ROI attached to it. Okay? Leads. Just draw a line right through it. Okay? How are we doing? All right. Leads. Need more leads. No. Leads are like carpet over a rotten floor. It hides weakness. Okay? So let me take a broken system and pour a bunch of money and a lot more garbage right over the top of it. Okay? What am I going to get in the end? Other than a brain-damaged BDC or a sales department that is like, these things are shit, I can't close anything. Left message, left message, left message, left message. If you can't close, I'll get Richie to close. Whatever, man, give it to Richie. Okay? In fact, it's a competitive advantage. Give them all to him. I'll sell 2 cars a month, get blown out. Okay? Leads are out. Leads are subjective. You give me a lead, it's kind of like a prospect. I did the best I could. You know, how come you didn't close that lead? Man, they're not ready. Okay, great. No, good try, whatever. Okay? It's a stroke. All right? Buyers. Change the way you look at things. Even if you don't believe it, every time that phone rings, it's a buyer. Every single time an e-lead, form lead, chat lead, text lead, anything that is trackable comes into your store. Hold yourself, hold your stores, hold your people accountable that it is what? It's a buyer. And the question is, are they buying from me, or are you going to drive them into the hands of someone else? Am I the 0.3 or am I the 1? Okay? Here's the byproduct of that kind of commitment. You ready? People are going to come unhinged at you saying, hey man, you can't hold me accountable for the 978 friggin' leads that you bought. Well, it's a good point. Then let's take a look at them. Which ones are garbage? Well, shit, we can throw these 400 out because they never convert. Great. How much did that save us? Right? This is not about the law of large numbers. What would you rather have? 1,000 leads that convert maybe 4%, 5%, and burn an entire room full of people, or 100 in-market buyers? Okay? That's our ability, using our data, managing our stores, putting our brand where it's supposed to be. With what was our rule of engagement? How many clicks? If it doesn't have a tracking thread on it, put one on it. If you don't know what that means, call me, email me, no sales pitch, you can have it for free. Okay? Any person who spends my money, invests my money, better have my interest in mind, or you don't get the right. Okay? Famous one. Welcome to the such and such platform. Okay? I'm going to assign a telephone number to your dealership. The hell you are. Your phone number in front of my number that's ringing our store? No. I'll give you a number that I own that's tracking the what I want to see, and you put that one on there. We can't do that. Well, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. We won't be doing business today. Take that stance, watch how quickly people start throwing your numbers where they're supposed to be. If you guys have tracking, call recording, I'm trying not to say brand names because I don't want to get thrown out for being a pitch man, right? But you all know who they are. The companies that provide call recording and call tracking. Get on the unlimited plan of unlimited phone numbers, and you can assign any number you want. No one dials the phone anymore. Okay? Well, that number's kind of hard. Not when it's a hyperlink and I just push one button and the next thing you know I'm talking to the store. But I as the investor, I as the dealer get to see everything. I get to see how much phone traffic there was. And it's really unmistakable data, isn't it? In the world of a one-click. Ring, ring. Hey, I spent $5,000 on this campaign. I got 4 phone calls. Oh, you guys must have used the wrong phone number. No, because it's our phone number that I assigned to you. It's inside the ad, and there's no way for you to hard dial anything other than that. Well, you know what they must have done? Here's what they did. They closed out of the campaign that they were in. They went and opened a whole new window in Google, and they hard typed the brand name in, and they took it off of Google. Yeah, that's what we do in the ADD environment. We can't even spend 30 seconds looking at anything, without doing. Touch the button, let's go. That's the other thing, folks. Websites, campaigns, pay-per-click, display advertising. If it doesn't convert immediately, have the courage to say, you're not fired, you're a partner, we work together, I got it. This isn't converting. I need different colors, I need different placement. It needs to be very clean glass, very efficient. Draw me in. Use my thumb to your advantage. Auto form fill, auto chat, auto text, click to call phone numbers. Every single one of them can have tracking on them. I realize this sounds like a ton, guys, but honestly, steps. Okay? Like I said, it was only a few years ago that I'm sitting right in this front row writing down PPC equals pay per click. Find out what that means. Okay? That was not a decade ago. It was like 4.5 years ago. Okay? Crown your buyers. Change your culture to I'm in the in-market buyer business because I'm in the in-market selling business. Now you can hold yourself accountable to some bottom lines. Okay? Yellow. I'll end it where we began it. We develop an outstanding relationship where everybody wins, folks. I mean it when I share with you that there were dealers that were truly gracious to us. Didn't make me feel stupid for asking them a question like, what is PPC? What does SEO mean, right? They said, oh, buddy, I'll tell you. I'm like, thank God, don't laugh at me. They're like, no. I appreciate the hunt. I appreciate the journey that you're in. If there's things that I've shared with you today, my mission was to just empower you enough to say, I knew that somewhere I had to have the ability to be able to manage my own money. But I'm always getting the smoke and mirror job. Can't be done, can't be done. It can be done. It is being done. There are crazy high converting, wicked profitable groups throughout the U.S. Some of them just aren't as vocal, right? I'm crazy vocal about it because of where we started. I want to give it back. It's not going to change my competitive landscape one bit. But if it helps you move the needle just a little bit, then I'll feel thrilled for you because it's the little match strike that may light a fire. And I get guys running into me 2 years later going, wow, man, we're a completely different group now. And I'm like, that's awesome. So are we. Okay? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the end officially of my shared discussion with you, and we've got like a solid 5 minutes. If we want to stretch it, they'll probably at some point come in and give me like the giant flashlight. Stop, right? But please feel free. I mean, this needs to be the kind of environment and the kind of forum that you're okay saying, I really have no idea what that means. Yes, sir.
You talked about getting rid of leads.
Yes.
Getting rid of third-party business.
Yes.
If it doesn't go to your BDP, get rid of it.
Yes.
So, thoughts on canceling AutoTrader.com and moving that money towards like inventory PPC, because if they come in one more time and we spend 10 grand, got 14 map prints and 2 phone calls.
Yeah, 14 map prints, 2 phone calls, no car deals. I'd shoot myself. Right? I mean, if I'm the GM of myself, I'm going to drag myself right into HR and pow, put a bullet right in me. You're done. You will never touch my checkbook again. So you said the brand names, I didn't. I'm not the predatory asshole dealer that's got an axe to grind. He said it, I didn't. But the answer to your question is yes, yes, yes. What have we been reading from everyone all these years? The greatest VDP view, the greatest online experience you'll ever have is which one? The direct one, because guess what? I know as a consumer, it's where I want to be. I chose you, I didn't get sort of tripped into you, right? And now I'm going to get the BDC slam with 19 phone calls and countless emails. Okay? Have the courage. For some markets, that's an effective way to do business. So I am not making a universal statement. I would say, if you want to know how we did it, if you want to test something, you don't just throw it all out the window and hope, right? Try a pilot. If you're blessed with multiple stores, try one. See what happens. Okay? Yes, sir.
You mentioned, obviously you want to invest in things to track. Have you completely dealt with traditional?
Yes, we did that. We did that out of necessity, folks. If any of you have heard me speak before, I tell the carnage story of how we died. No drama, no sensationalism. In 2009, we were out of business. We had completely hemorrhaged all of our cash. We burned through the last $2 million in liquid capital. We were into vendor money at that point. We were surviving on terms that we just didn't pay our bills. I mean, the truth of the matter was our lenders gave us credit that they never approved. Okay? We paid everybody back, grace of God, purely, without question. Yeah, I'm going spiritual. That's why we're still here. Hand of God said, we're second lease on life. So yes, we out of necessity couldn't afford it. Then we woke up one day and realized, hey man, digital, let's go to Digital Dealer, let's figure it out, right? If I can't track it all the way through, it will not get 1 penny from me. Now I say this to you with one caution. Be prepared for what you find. Okay? You will love the net, you'll love the performance, but when you start looking at your own internal methods, don't kill anyone for trying. Okay? If you take an internal investment and go, okay, Samantha, you're really smart, right? You know the business, you've been here for a number of years. I'm going to give you a little $3,000 PPC spend, and she does the best that she can, and she's learning, right? And you only sold 2 cars, and you're like, man, that's not going to work, $1,500 each. Don't gas it. It just means you have to get a little more refined. Let people grow into that stuff. Because I assure you, 1,500 on 2 units beats how much on 0? Okay? So you're going to look at some data. You might have providers, and you may say, look, I just heard this discussion. This guy told me to weaponize everything I'm doing, so that's what I want you to do. And force them to give you the data. They'll be shaken, because some of it may not look very good. But guess what? At least it's pure, at least it's mine, and I know what I need to work on. Correct? Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Completely buy in everything you said.
Okay.
If I understood correctly, no third-party BDP pages. Only investing in your own.
Only investing in relationships that do not hold our brands hostage. Okay? So if there's someone who's a partner who does the job that I expect at an efficient investment that I can show trackable unit sales, and inside your place where consumers actually go, it's one touch, straight to me and it produces an end net result that I'm good with, I'm fine. That's a partner. And the other one is a predator. There's two different ways to look at it, right?
What's facilitating with one touch?
What's facilitating it? If I touch an image, okay? Let's say I'm on the ABC platform. They bill me $500 a month to put my inventory up there. The minute I touch one photo, do I scroll on their URL? The minute I touch it, it better be on my VDP for that specific car at the photo they just touched. And if they can't do it, I'm not investing. It's really not that hard. It's a slider program. Okay? Well, we don't do that. And let me just share with you, I'm not throwing anybody on the bus. People have told us we don't do that, and then I tell them how many stores I have because they didn't do their research. They think they're calling a guy that's got 2 stores, and I tell them how many stores I have. What do you think all of a sudden they're like, well, let me have my manager call you. We'll figure out how to do that. Damn right you will. Right? So don't be afraid to push. You don't need as many stores as we have. There's guys in the room with 10 times more stores than we have. Okay? Power of one or power of whatever, I'm the dealer. It's my money. If you think I'm cutting that loose, you better come to work. Okay? Yes? Anybody else? Oh, I got the double flashlight. Let's hit it, people. Have a great show. Thank you so much. Okay?